guys, it's Jacqueline. Welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, it's gonna be my February book haul, and these are all the books that I have bought in the month of February. And so there's 16 books here, and I'm not gonna go in detail into all of them just because some of them I read, and that's gonna be in my February wrap-up, which will come later. Okay, so let's get started into this video. Okay, before I start, I just want to say these books are in no particular order. It's just the ones that I grabbed. So first on the list is Renegades by Melissa Meyer. And this is a sci-fi futuristic thing. I really don't know much, even though I've heard so many people talk about it, but I've never read it. And I'm gonna read it, and I just wanted to buy hardcover because the hardcover is so pretty. But yeah, let's move on. Next is You Are Not Alone by I should know how to say these names by now. Gare Henderson and Sarah Picklin. This is their third book together. I've read The Wife Between Us. I think that's the only one I've read. I haven't read Anonymous Girl yet, but this is the third one. And these writers write so well together. It's great. This is a murder mystery about two sisters and some. I don't like knowing too much about their books because it's better not knowing anything while you go in, because it makes the book 10 times better. Okay, next book is All the Stars and Teeth by Adelaine Grace, and this is a fantasy mystery, I believe. I'm probably incorrect on that. I probably should know the synopsis before I talk about them on this channel. But, I don't. That's probably why it's probably not a good channel. So all I know, there's pirates, mermaids, and an island. Next, we have Truly Devious by Marta Johnson. This is a murder mystery, and it's set at a private school in Vancouver. And in the early 20th century, there was the founder's wife and daughter were murdered, witnessing them murdered, and it's been a cold case. And then many years later, a student named Stevie decides to try to unravel this cold case, and this book is set in two timelines. So the first one is in the 20s, and then the other one is in present day, so it goes back and forth between those two. Okay, next book is The Diviners by Libba Bray, and this is also set in the 1920s, 1926 New York, and people are getting murdered, and they're apparently, she has a dark secret which has supernatural powers. Again, don't know much about this book, but Emma Books talks about this book a lot. So I finally decided to start reading it, especially since the fourth book in the series just recently came out. So I decided, why not pick this up and start with the series. Okay, next two books are part of a series, and that is Alex and Eliza by Melissa De La Cruz, and the sequel, Love and War, also by Melissa De La Cruz. I love saying her name. Anyway, this is an Alexander Hamilton kind of historical fiction with a twist. Basically, it follows Alexander Hamilton and his wife and how they met and during the war. It's a really cute story, and I didn't know this much information about Alexander, the founding father of our country, relationship, and it's just so cute. And I know it's not 100% accurate, but a little bit it is, and I'm just like, wow, history is great. But yeah, these ones, I'll go more in depth with these with my wrap-up. Okay, next is a novella, and it's Ghosts of the Shadow Market by Cassandra Clare and a bunch of different authors. I finally bought this on Book Outlet because it was only like $4, and I can complete it to my Shadowhunter shelf. That's all I gotta say. These are just novellas set in the Shadowhunter world. Yeah. That's it. Everyone knows about these. Okay, next book is The 1000th Floor by Catherine Megg. And this is a Gossip Girl meets sci-fi. So basically it's 1,000 years in the future, and there is one New York building which is the highest building in the world, which has 1,000 floors, and everyone lives on their own floor. It's basically Gossip Girl meets sci-fi. That's the best way I can describe it. Everyone's dating who. You want this person to be with this person, but then they don't. Somebody dies. It's basically Pretty Little Liars mixed with Gossip Girl mixed with Doctor Who. It's like, whew. Some people don't like this because it does have to, there's a little bit of incest, a little bit in here. I read this audiobook wise, and it was, whew, it was a lot just because different people's point of views, and there was a lot of characters and a lot of characters connecting with each other. Luckily in this book it has a map of who's related to who loves who's enemies, stuff like that, which I really enjoyed. Okay, this next book was kind of more of an impulse buy because I've seen it all over BookTube and I know nothing about it, and that's the Maleficent Crow by Margaret Owen. This was a Fairy Loot box, which I thought I would be getting when I signed up for Fairy Loot. I didn't get it. I got the next month. I was like, oh, okay, I thought I was getting this month, but whatever. But I really liked this cover, so I was like, you know what? Let me go buy it. Took me a while to find it cheap, but I found it on Book Outlet. Like I said, know nothing about this book. And that's the way I want to. Sometimes I really enjoy going into a book I know nothing about. I probably should, but sometimes it's nice to go into a book knowing nothing about it, because you can see like, oh, I really enjoyed this book, and then when you find out what it is, it's like, oh, I didn't know I kind of liked this. If that makes any sense. Okay, next book is by Kiersten White, and that's And I Darken. And this is a retelling of a female retelling of somebody. I'm sorry, I'm blanking. But obviously if you've been on my channel and you watch my book talk about Slayer by Kiersten White, she has been an author that I've been reading a lot of in the past year. I've loved most of her books. This is another book of hers that everyone enjoyed when it first came out, and I'm really excited to see how her writing used to be before the ones I read, because the ones I've read are newer books of hers. Well, this is an older one that I have not read, so I'm excited to read this. Okay, this book 100% because of the cover, and it's called The Maleficent by Daniel Vega. This has to do with witches and sacrificing. I don't know. Okay, I know I suck, guys. I suck. Obviously this was covered, but I'm really interested just because I like witches and I like kind of demonic things like that. So I feel like I'm gonna enjoy this book. And again, this was Book Outlet. I got a lot of Book Outlet books in February because I was like, you know what? I've never ordered from Book Outlet, surprisingly. Well, let's go. Okay, next book I have here is Ace of Shades by Amanda Foody. And this follows Anne, and she is a very young, she's a young lady who goes to a city of sin, basically. There's magic involved in this world. There is gambling, very Ocean's 11 casino vibes, Vegas, Sin City vibes in this book. I'm actually reading this book right now, so I don't want to say too much because I'm going to say what I'm reading, if that makes sense. But yeah, again, this was another Emma Books recommendations. Like, out of most of these books, 3 of them were featured a lot on Emma Books' channel, and these were some of her favorite books. And I love Emma Books, and usually the books she recommends, I wind up loving. So hopefully that continues tradition. Okay, next book is a book that was one of my favorite movies as a youngling, and it's actually based off a book series, and I was like, you know what, let me finally read this, because I rewatched the movie. I was like, yeah, let me read the book, and that is Cercle d'Afrique, A Living Nightmare by Darren Singh. And this is book 1, and you probably have heard the movie Cirque de la Freak, The Vampire's Assistant, but that's book 2, which I don't know why they changed the title. Anyway, this book is basically about this guy named Darren Singer and his best friend Steve, and they go to a freak show and they confront a vampire, and Darren gets turned into a vampire, if I remember correctly. But people have told me the book is way different than the movie, like way different. They butchered it. So I'm really excited because I love the movie, so I want to see if I like the book or like the book more than I did the movie. Okay, next book is actually a comic book, and that is Birds of Prey, Murder and Mystery. Now, if you know that recently the Harley Quinn movie Birds of Prey came out, this is the comic book, and if you don't know, it's about Oracle, who is Barbara Gordon, and she is the daughter of She was Batgirl, and then she was stabbed or shot in the back by the Joker and winds up in a wheelchair, and she is reborn as the Oracle, and she recruits the Huntress and the Black Canary to help fight crime. Obviously, Harley Quinn is the leader, but the Black Canary and the Huntress are both in the film. But yeah, this is one of the first comic books. So I decided to get this at Barnes & Nobles because why not? Okay, and the final book I have for my February book haul is The Queen Assassins by Melissa De La Cruz. As you can tell, I bought a lot of Melissa De La Cruz books this month. This is about Caden Holt, who is the Queen's assassin. His father made a bond and it's been passed out to him, so he has to do anything the Queen says. And then we have a girl named Shadow who is in the village and wants to join the kind of knights, if you will, of the kingdom, and they go on a journey together. She kind of lies to him saying that I was sent by the Queen, even though that's not true. There's a huge twist. If you read this book, you know what I'm talking about. I will talk more about this book in my wrap-up because I got a lot to say about this book. Okay, so that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoy, and I'm sorry if my descriptions of these books suck. The reason why I don't go into that much descriptions is because I buy a lot of popular books that I know people know. But the books I know not that many people will know, I talk about more, if that makes any sense. But that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment down below. Until next time, I'm Jacqueline, and this is my City of Books that's growing every single day. Bye!